Hey everybody, it's Mr. Alas here. I'm going to just do a quick, well, for anyone that missed a lesson on virtual, absent, and or needs clarification, I'm going to try to do one video, quick video for each task, explaining and hopefully clarifying any questions that you might have. And I really hope that this is recording my voice. Anyway, so this is for task 1. What you basically need. Sorry. Before I do this, I just want to make sure that you know that everything is due for this final assessment. And this final assessment is due next, what is it, Wednesday? May 4th. Okay? And that you only need to do or present in your notebook 5 out of 7 tasks. But it has to be in your notebook. Now, if you are in class, I will give you a brief introduction to everything and show you how to do each task, and then after which I will give you time to work on each task. While you're working, I will be working with people who have questions about their work. I'm happy to work with anyone. I can check your work. I can tell you which items are correct and help you find the answer. I won't tell you the answer, but I'll help you out there. So task 1, here we go. This is just one example, right? What I need you to do is basically make this whole table thing in your notebook, but using the verb SER. Okay, we don't need to go into the meaning of it other than the fact that it means to be. So you can use this as a guide, but make sure that it is in your notebook. So ser, that's your verb. And I've said many times that this is the most important verb, one of the most important verbs in the Spanish language. It means to be, and it's kind of more of a permanent thing, and that it's used a lot to describe. Okay, so now your task in task 1 is to basically do exactly this. I'm going to list the plurals first so that the singulars. So here I'm going to put what am I doing? The pronoun, conjugation, and then the rest of the sentence, the ... Okay. With the pronouns, I'm going to start with the singular by just saying SING for singular. And then I'm going to go ahead and start listing my singular pronouns. And I'm going to list them all out, right? There have been many times where I did this, right, to save space, or this to save space, right, with the understanding that this represents that and that, right? Or this represents that. My bad, that's an O. And that. Okay, remember in Spanish, there's gender in almost everything, right? In this case, then the pronouns have genders. And the pronouns change genders depending on what they're describing, but the conjugation doesn't change. And that's why I want you to list out every single one of these pronouns. Don't use a shortcut version that I've taught you. So don't do it for this one, for task 1. So here we have yo, tú, él. Oh, my bad. I just said to list it out, and I just did not listen to my own instructions. You can use UD, that's the abbreviation for usted. Let me do the whole thing for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about. Usted. After the singular, I'll skip a line here. I have the plurals. And by that, I have nosotros, that's we. That's a bunch of guys, or a bunch of guys and girls. Nosotras with an AS. That means, we again, but it's a bunch of girls saying that. We have vosotros and vosotras, right? This is y'all, basically, y'all, informal, plural. Plural, all right. And finally, we have they, a bunch of guys, or a mixed group of guys and girls. We have they again, but we're talking about a bunch of girls. And then we have this one, ustedes. Okay, which is, oh, it's so confusing. It's the formal way to talk to a group of people. Listen, pronouns are a whole unit, so let's do this. And if you need me to clarify or go over pronouns even more, we can talk about it in person, or I could, yeah, just let me know. Email me, talk to me. It's better to talk to me because email is not my strongest thing. So now we're going to conjugate the verb ser, S-E-R. So we already know how to say I am from Leland. Okay. In English, this is your pronoun, I. In English, this is your conjugation or your conjugated form of the verb to be. And this is the ... part of the sentence, right? Okay. And one last thing I'll say about pronouns before going on to conjugate this thing, because I was just talking to Alika and Markella, and Alika came up with a great way to think about this. It was a sports analogy, which I'm really bad at. I was asking them about what do you call the person that goes out into a field, like a football field or whatever field, a sports field, to replace someone that got injured, right? So someone got injured, and I'm looking for the person that's called to replace them. And I think, or Alika told me, that it's a substitute. And if you're struggling with the idea of a pronoun, just remember that just write out the word or see it in your mind. We know what a noun is, right? It's a person, place, or thing. Okay. This, I believe it's Latin, means that it's coming in for something. It's standing in for something. It's the substitute, right? For example, Beyonce is crazy. I don't know if she has an accent in her in that E, but I'm just going to pretend that she does, okay? Now, Beyonce is around the corner, but I want to tell my friends that she is crazy, but I don't want to use her name, so just in case she might hear me. So I want to say the same thing. I want to say that she's crazy without saying her name. So the pronoun I would use, the substitute for the name or for the noun in English, is she is crazy. Okay? Here you have your pronoun. Here you have your conjugated verb of, again, it's I am, right? Or to be, sorry, my bad. And here's your adjective, just the describing word. Last thing. In Spanish, it's the same thing. Beyonce es loca. Let's say she's let's say that she's crazy all the time in her life, right? So we're using ser, right? The describing verb, to be. What's your pronoun? Okay, we want to say that she's crazy, but we don't want her to hear it, so we send a substitute and use that instead. She is crazy. All right. I'm done with that. Take that all away. Again, if you need help with pronouns, it's totally fine to ask, because it's really important to know them, so that you can use them with conjugations and make actual sentences on your own. Okay. Again, we're conjugating the verb ser, which is to be. Yo soy, you already know. Tú eres, él es, ella es, usted es. Okay? Nosotros somos, nosotras somos, vosotras sois, right? I always tell people to remember